This probably looks familiar. A little bit of everything. Hiatal hernia and GERD are actually the same thing. That's common to have the same thing. One not service connected and one that says GERD. It actually shouldn't say GERD. It should say hiatal hernia. But it depends on how you write it up. A lot of these things, they just go in the way you write them up, however many years ago. That's going to be one of my recommendations, so maybe that'll get fixed. But as you can see, he's got lots of orthopedic conditions. He's got some bilaterals in his left and right carpal tunnel. He's got plantar fasciitis, lumbar strain, pes planus. Got something on his left foot for 10, and then he's got his Achilles tendonitis, left ankle as a secondary, eczema, and a few other items. So I went ahead and printed this thing out so it would be a little easier to sit here and talk through it with you. So let's swap over to that screen. So service-connected disabilities, the highest one he has is obstructive sleep apnea, and I just kind of threw them kind of in, not in any order, just kind of by the rating. So, left knee sprain, right knee sprain, bilateral. Achilles tendonitis, 20, rotator cuff, bilateral pes planus left foot, plantar fasciitis, that's 10. That's also what I had, just for shits and giggles. Lumbar strain, GERD at 10, tinnitus at 10, right ankle tendonitis at 10, left and right carpal tunnel here at 10. So let's look at some of the not service-connected disabilities. And you might have a bunch of these things, and that's why I'm making this. I want you guys to think about this stuff and look for the path of least resistance and make sure you nail it. And I would also say, make sure that you've gone to the doctor for all of your service-connected disabilities. That would be this list right here. At least once in the last year, make sure you've gone, got everything checked out, and made a complaint or whatever. If any of these things are increasable, you should have been complaining. So you're building your claim, building your case so you can increase it. So that's another thing to think about. You can file an intent to file now and work on your medical evidence and warrant your increase. But if this guy was complaining and went after some of these things, he could do an increase all on his own because he doesn't need a nexus. He doesn't need to establish service connection. Those things are already done. He's already service connected. He just needs the severity of the symptoms documented. And if he was making his complaints in his VHA medical records, that could be enough for sure. So let's look at the not service connected disabilities. We got hernia hiatal. Like I said, that actually is GERD. Liver condition. I don't know much about that. I wouldn't mess with it. Hearing loss is a loser. Right foot bone spur and right foot plantar fasciitis interest me on a secondary basis. So let's talk through this. So he needs 10%. So the easiest way to do this, in my opinion, is to go for an increase, right? Secondary service connections are also easy, but then you're going to need a diagnosis of a condition and you're going to need a nexus linking the condition to something that's already service connected. And we'll talk through that a little bit, but I would go for an increase on hiatal hernia, aka GERD, and call it a day. Warranted, his symptoms are worse, right? He's got 10%. GERD goes up, I think it's 0, 10, 30, and 60. 30 is a pretty common GERD rating. 60 is an extremely high GERD rating. Not sure what the severity of the symptoms are, but that would be the easiest thing to do. And then the second route that I would go, as you're looking through this list, lots of orthopedic conditions. Obstructive sleep apnea is the high value claim, 30% or above are high value claims. 30% or lower are low value claims. I'm not saying that all these 20s and 10s don't add up. They obviously do. But he only has one high value claim in here. What's missing? I don't see any IBS. I see GERD. That is a high value claim, but he's got a low rating for it. So I don't see IBS. I don't see anything about headaches, migraines, and I see no mental health rating whatsoever. So that is the first place that I would look at, a mental health claim for depression and or anxiety and or insomnia and or somatic symptom disorder. When you're dealing with this much pain with these sprains and ankles and tears and plantar fasciitis hurts, I've got that. He could actually do an increase on his left foot plantar fasciitis and get that to 20, like I got mine to 20. That would do it too. He's got a lot of options. So let me throw that into the possible increase list too. Just increasing his left foot up to 20 might work. So mental health, this is why mental health claims exist, to pick up and to clean up these types of claims, because you need to account for how all these things in your body that screw you up and they impact your social and your work life. I mean, he's at 94%, very severe conditions here. So he could lob in a mental health claim and, that would get him 50, 70% right there. Headaches, depending if he has them or not, obviously, you have to have this stuff. So when I go back to mental health, if he doesn't have an anxiety or depression, but he has insomnia, then file for insomnia. I know he has chronic pain. That's obviously clear. So somatic symptom disorder would be a no-brainer. But when you go to a board-certified psychologist, you want them to get out and diagnose all your mental health conditions, so you have them all in case that needs to be increased in the future. IBS is probably another one that he's suffering from because of the meds. GERD and IBS have overlapping conditions, but they are two separately rateable items. So he could get another 30% for his GERD. So that's kind of my breakdown of it. Other things that he might want to be thinking about are, he's going to be, once he gets to 100%, depending on his age, at some point, they might give him 100% permanent and total. I would think if he, shoots way over it and gets a 70% mental health rating and gets an increase going, again, I wouldn't do 5 claims.
Absolutely
I'd
nothing.
do 2, 3 max. Don't make this difficult. And I would obviously go the path of least resistance. I might even start off with just increasing the GERD if he's got the symptoms to back it up, and increase the plantar fasciitis on the left foot if his symptoms are worse, and that's documented in his VA records or private records. Other things to think about are, what's his social life like? What's his work life like? If he's just suffering through and unable to work, another thing to think about is Social Security disability insurance. If he's had a job, he meets the right criteria, this might be a good Social Security disability insurance claim. So he's currently at 94%, single veteran. I think you're getting paid around $2,000, $1,900 or something like that at 90%. Bump that up to 100, that would put him at 31. Depending on how much he's paying into Social Security, I use Social Security disability insurance average $1,300, $1,400 for most people that make 80 grand a year kind of thing, 60 grand a year, and have all the work credits and fit into the grid system and all that kind of stuff. So layering in a Social Security disability claim could put him at $4,500 a month, and that might be enough for him to live on. Unless, of course, he lives in California or in downtown Manhattan. And then I would suggest moving to Idaho or Montana or Wyoming or, somewhere cheaper, somewhere north and colder. And you can live on $4,500, on Social Security disability and your VA disability. So just wanted to kind of run through this little scenario with you. I got my little cabin here. See the little heart? I love you guys. Hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me jump in here real quick and tell you about my boot camp. If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, check out my boot camp. You can talk to me live. There's a link on the website and in the description, combatcraig.com. And also, if you need medical evidence like a nexus or documenting your symptoms properly, go to our website, combatcraig.com, and it says medteam/nexus letters. Click on that link, fill out the form, boom, you're done.